Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Sure hope you are doing well and having an amazing day. I'm having an amazing day. Hi, it's Synolve. Welcome. I need to do just one thing. Stay tight. I promise it won't take me just a second. I need to close this door. Okay? I forgot about it, so you won't have echo. I'm going right here. I'll be right back. I'm still here. Just need to close the door. I forgot about it. So I don't have an echo. All right. And I am back just like that. How are you guys doing? Sorry about that. I had to go close that door. Welcome, everyone. Sorry about that. Let's close the door so we won't have an echo. Welcome. Come on in. We are talking today about our black dollars, our black buying power, and how we can do some amazing things with our black money. It seems we're having this amazing time in America to make some choices for ourselves about what we want to do with our money. Because with all of the different changes to the administration, everything that's going on, it's giving us an opportunity for a revival, right? To go back to what our ancestors did and to shop black, be black, do black, okay? It's our time, it's our season. And so you can look at this and you can say, oh, this is horrible. Like, this is bad, everything that's going on with 47. Or you can look at the bright side. You can see all of the amazing opportunity and that's opening for us here in America. And I'm choosing to live on the bright side. Okay? I'm choosing to live on the bright side and to really look at what I'm going to do with my black dollars, okay? What you can do with your black dollars. And so we're going to discuss that. We're going to talk about that, some of the things that we can do. We're going to let some people come in. Hubby is here. He's sharing over on Facebook. We sent out the newsletter. We sent out the announcement to the email list. So make sure you're on the email list. Make sure you got some water. I need some water, y'all. Make sure you get you some water. I needed a sip there, and bump my little mic there. But yeah, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do with our black dollars, what we're gonna do with our black money. So hello, come in, please. As you're coming in, say hello, introduce yourself. Let us know that you're here. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up, a like, a comment, and share. Let us know that you're here. I'm excited for this conversation. I am excited for this discussion today. So come on in and share the video. That would definitely help us so much. So appreciate it. So this is what we're talking about today. So come on in. Now, before, as everyone is coming in and you guys are coming in and joining us, I am going to let you know, do a bit of an announcement and some housekeeping. I've talked to you about going ahead and commenting, and let us know where you're from. Let us know where you are in the world. Go ahead and share the video, please. That would help me out. Milton is saying hello to everyone. Thank you so much. Milton is my hubby, my babe. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you all for being here. Thank you, hubby, for always supporting me and being there for me. I really appreciate you. Got you. Okay. That's bae. And so we are really gearing up for amazing things. And so as we're talking about it and doing the housekeeping while everyone is coming in, I want to make sure that I tell you guys about this trip, and so that I share with you all this amazing trip that we are going on. And so here, let's see, here we are. Sorry about that. Am I sharing you the right screen? Oh, here. No, not my entire screen. I want to share with you. Here we go. This so while everybody's coming in, I see some of you are watching. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, my old and new subscribers. go ahead and perform all the rituals that you must perform. Of course, we're hailing here from Tennessee. Hubby's got Tennessee in the on the screen in the chat. So thank you so much for being here. And we are checking out my website, and so that you all can see, we're headed on a trip to, where we're going? Kenya. We're going to Kenya. We're going to Kenya. I'm going to put this link for you guys to check out the Kenya trip and to be a part of the Kenya trip. If you look, don't miss out on this trip. Okay, so I'm going to put the Kenya trip here and all the information if you guys want to join. Also, you guys can email me at for any questions that you have about the trip. You can email me at the BlackXodus at gmail.com. So I will put that up there as well. So here we go. Okay, so that's the email. Now let's do the trip. We're going to do this real quick, this ad right quick, because I know some of you want to go. This is the BlackXodus tour, right? So we are Exodus right? Exodusing right on out of here. And so come to Kenya for this tour. It's going to be a investment tour for our black dollars, okay? Everyone else is going to Kenya, going to Africa. Why aren't you going? Okay, I got a whole video about that. Please go check it out. Give it a little support. The cost of the tour is going to be $5,500. Airfare is not included. Your hotels, the tour, the transportation, to the destination safari. There's going to be an investors summit, including lunch and dinner. There's an investors packet and investors gift bag. There's an investors summit. Of course, I've already said wrap up lunch or wrap up dinner, so that's going to be there. Look, it's so much that's going to happen. We're going to be in Nairobi. We're going to head to the coast, to Mombasa and to Diani. We're going to hear during the investor summit. This is you're going to so much value for your money in the investor summit. You're going to hear from Kenyan investors and diasporan investors, qualified investors, and we're going to see some of the work that they're doing. And we're going to be able to see residential housing for, houses and land where you can buy. We're going to see apartments where you can rent or buy. Okay, we're going to do the thing. Okay, we're going to do the thing, and we are excited. We are so excited. So it's $5,500. Your transportation, we're going to hit 3 cities. You're going to get beach time. You're going to be on the beach, as well as be in the city of Nairobi. So you get to relax. You'll get to see the city life. We're going to go on a safari. Look, all the things. Okay, jam-packed as much as we could with goodness. And you're going to get an opportunity to invest. You're going to see a retail space. If that's your thing, you'll see where you can invest in housing, residential, do an Airbnb, whatever you want to do. But we got you. I got you, sis. I got you, brother. Okay, Kaka Dada, I got you. We got you in this. Milton and I have worked tirelessly to bring this information to you. And so the deposit is $1,500 to secure your spot. This is all happening in September. And then the remaining balance is due October the 15th. And so if you need to split that up, that $4,000 up in 2 payments, let us know. Email us at the BlackXodus at gmail.com and let us know. You want to secure your spot. Okay, secure your spot now. And so these are the places where you can pay. You can go ahead and click, and you can download the itinerary right here. This is the itinerary, and you can see the itinerary, all the things that we're going to do, all the things. And so one of the other things during that summit that I'm just really excited about, we're going to get a chance to talk to a citizenship expert. And so that's going to be simply amazing. Okay, that's going to be amazing. Now, here we go. So we want to talk about, this is the trip. We want to talk about our black dollars. And so one of the things that we are, we as African Americans often don't realize, and that's our buying power. And it's estimated that our buying power is $1.98 trillion. Do you hear me? $1.98 trillion. This is powerful, right? And so many times what we have done with our investment dollars, with our money, is we have invested in the West, or we have invested in the US, right? As African Americans, we've invested in the US and we've invested in the West. Our trips to Paris, trips to London, okay, trips all over the globe. And so now to Australia, to different places. And so now the time is to invest where we can build. I've talked about this in another video. Why aren't you investing in Africa? And I've talked about in other videos, I'll leave the link below, where I refuse to continue investing my money and my black dollars in the West, in America, where they continually, okay, over and over again, we are disrespected. Our towns, like over 100 towns, have black towns in the U.S. have been destroyed. They have been destroyed over and over again. And so I refuse to keep investing my black dollars here in the West. I just refuse to keep doing that over and over again. You look at Tulsa in the Tulsa race massacre. You look at what happened with Memphis, and Beale Street was a black town. Beale Street was a black town, and all of a sudden now, with Beale Street, what was happening, all of a sudden now, Beale Street is completely white, and all of the shops, all the stores, and so what's happening? They love what we do, right? It was Seneca Village in the U.S. is another example of a city, right, that was a black town, just like just like Black Wall Street in Tulsa. And what did they do? They mowed it down and they bulldozed all the houses down in Seneca Village, and they created Central Park. And so this has happened to black towns over and over again. Every time we build, here they come. Okay. And so now it's our turn, and it's our time to build and to create. And this is something that we must do with our black money, with our black dollars. We must find places, we must find ways and opportunities where we can invest, and where we know that our investments are going to thrive, and where they're going to build wealth, where we're not going to have to worry about 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now that some administration is going to come along, like we're experiencing right now, and then tear down everything that we have built. If you're in the comments, go ahead and say amen, because I'm preaching now. Okay, I am preaching. I am preaching this day. And so it's time for us to get our black dollars together. It's time, African Americans, for you to get your black dollars together. If you're in the diaspora, you're African American, it is time to get your black dollars together, okay, and invest, and to really think about where you're going to invest. Where am I going to put my dollars now? Where am I going to build wealth? Where am I going to build generational wealth for myself and for my family? Where is that going to be? Where am I going to build? Okay. And so much has been of our focus, because it's been propaganda. So much of our focus has been on the American dream. It's been on building here in the West, building this country, building, right, if you're in the diaspora, it's been building Europe, or building in Germany, or building the West. If you're an African American, it's been building the US. And what happens when a new person gets in administration? What happens? They tear down DEI, okay? They pull back the policies. And then we know with DEI that the beneficiaries largely for DEI were who? Not us. Okay. They were not us. And so they were largely white women. And so what happens now? We have to make the decision that we're going to build. We have to make the decision, right, that we're going to, amen. Come on, somebody. We have to make that decision that for our children, for our children, for our families, that we are going to build something for ourselves. And if we can't build here, I'm not going to continue to build where they're going to tear it down. if you're going to continue to tear it down, that at some point, this is insanity. This is the definition of insanity, of me continuing to do something over and over and over again, is the definition of insanity. You build in Tulsa, they tear it down, they bulldoze it. There's a race massacre, and over, I have in the video, but millions and millions of dollars were lost, okay, on Black Wall Street. You build, right? Seneca Village as Black people. What happens? They bulldoze it and turn it into a park, no less. Okay. And so we have to make the decision, what are we going to do with our Black dollars? We have wealth, we have money, we have opportunity. And so instead of only looking at the West, it's time for us to start looking, where else can I go with my Black dollars? Okay, where else can I go with my Black dollars? What else can I do? Okay, what else can I do? What if you don't want my wealth, you don't want my prosperity, you don't want my dollars, then where am I going to go? Because why continue to invest in someone or something, in a country even, that does not respect you, that does not want to allow you to thrive? And then 2, 3, 5 years later, right, with new administration, they come with these new rules. They're these supremacist attitudes, and here you are stuck, having lived all your life focused on America. And I did a video about that. Don't wait till you're old. Don't wait till you're old, right? Don't wait till you're old. This is my message, and I'm standing 10 toes down. I'm standing 10 toes down on this message. You hear me? Because it's the truth. We have got to start looking outward. We are the only people with our $1.8 trillion who don't realize our power and our leverage. We have power. We have a leverage. And it's time that we use it, to use that leverage to go and invest where we're celebrated and not just tolerated. This is the whole movement of the Black Exodus movement. This is what Black Exodus is all about. Exit your dollars. Exodus, okay? Exit your dollars. It's not just for Moses and Bible times, okay? So Exodus, we know Exodus, the whole biblical book of Exodus in the Bible with the children of Israel. It's not just about them. It's not just a fictional story. It's about us. It's about us learning and relearning, retraining and training ourselves to be business people, to be investors, to move from workers, where we have been working so hard and to create and to build here in this country. And it's about, okay, I got to realize that I am a worldwide citizen. I am a citizen of the world. We are citizens of African Americans. We are citizens of the world. We are people of the world. And sometimes we've been so focused and hidden in a box to really only focus on America, that we've lost sight of the world. Because you know why? They keep us so focused on what? New house, new car, working so hard on these jobs. They keep us working so hard on these jobs for I was gonna say 17 hours sometimes. I mean, long shifts. Sometimes you guys work long shifts hard. I mean, this is a work or unalive culture. This is a work until you gone culture. Okay. And so we sit here and we work and we work and we work so hard. But what is the value that we get in return? You work so hard for a country then that disrespects you. Who talked about this? Okay, Malcolm X, Dr. King, who in history they have talked about this over and over and over again. Cassius Clay, he talked about this. Here we are giving and giving and giving our all. And at some point, you have to wake up. At some point, you have to realize, okay, I can do more. I can do different. I can do better. And there is better, because there are opportunities that exist all around the world, all around the world. And so I wanted to share this because there's been a lot of discussion about at the Essence Festival, and we'll get more into that in another video, but there's been a lot of discussion about the Essence Festival and all the things that are going on with it, and bringing in other people from the diaspora and their role in it. And so one of the things that came out of that was the role of the African Union, and the fact that the African Union had made the made African Americans, of course. Sorry about that. I'm thinking so fast that my brain's got to catch up. But the African Union has made African Americans the sixth global region. Now, I'm going to share this with you guys so you can see it. So let me pull this up right now. Let's see. Here it is. Let's see where this is. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's see if I can. Oh, here it is. There you are. All right, so here we are. Here we are. So the African Union is the there it is. Okay, finally. So the African Union has made African Americans the sixth global region, right? And it's promoting inclusivity. And so, as inclusivity has DEI, diversity, inclusiveness, and equity has gone away, the African Union is promoting that. And this really came about in 2003 is when this originally happened. But we are learning more and more about it, and it's time that we act now. Okay. The African Union says we engage, educate, embrace Africans in the sixth region in servant leadership and love to create wealth for personal wealth, national wealth, and global advancement. And so the African Union is the union of all of the countries within Africa. And now we serve the global community of African diaspora. And so the African diaspora includes the African diaspora and African Americans. And so we are part of this sixth region. Okay. So all of the regions the five regions are in Africa: Central region, South region, Eastern region, and so forth, Western region, and Central region that are in Africa. I hope I named all of them. And so all of those regions are investing, right, and doing amazing things. The Eastern Bloc, of course, that includes Tanzania, Rwanda, and I won't name all the countries, but I'm just giving you an example. And Kenya, okay, are in the Eastern Bloc. Of course, the Southern Bloc, that includes South Africa, okay, Botswana, and Lesotho, and several other countries. These are just examples, right? You've got your Central region, okay, and so these regions economically are doing amazing things. If I'm not mistaken, the Sahel is in Burkina Faso. They're in that southern region. That's Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali are in that central region block. So here we are as being the sixth region here in the diaspora, African Americans in the diaspora, and we have the opportunity, right, for business. We have the opportunity for investing, and we have a responsibility, right, to invest. And we have it's an opportunity and responsibility to invest, because we, for so long, like I said before, have been concentrated on America. We've been concentrated on the West. This includes African Americans and the African diaspora. We have to wake up, and we have to know our power. We have to wake up and know that we are part of a larger culture. We're not just isolated simply in the West. And we have this opportunity now that we can use our dollars, our Black dollars, our Black power to invest. That's that's the wrap, right? That's the takeaway. That is the core, because we have this opportunity. Before, there have been opportunities to invest, and we really didn't know what to do with our dollars. We didn't know about exports and imports. These are things that we need at this time to really become very literate in, right? Because we have been so literate in working and building a career and building ourselves here in America. And so we were trained as worker bees. We've been trained as worker bees to be working for a company and to work for someone else, not to be an investor. We have not been trained on how to be an investor. We haven't been trained on necessarily from our background. Our core has been to work for someone else. So we haven't been trained on how to really go into business for ourselves and create a thriving business. We have been taught to worship business leaders, to worship oligarchs, right? To worship the people who can afford the Benz, the Bugatti, the Maybachs, right? We've been, that's what we've been, that's what we have been told and taught to do. And so, but it's time for us to step into our core, into our responsibility, into who we really are, which is wealth builders. We are a nation, right? Black America. We are a nation to be wealth builders as everything begins to collapse and fall here in the West. You've got to look outward. You've got to begin to look for where the opportunities are. If the opportunities are not here in the West, if the economy is collapsing, if the dollar, there's a heavy presence and heavy push for for de-dollaration globally around the world. If other countries are coming onto the stage as powers, whether it's China or it's Kenya or it's other countries in Asia or Russia or around the world, then we have to start thinking: are we going to still continue to plant our dollars here? Because what it's looking like is they would rather burn this up and tear it down before they turn it over to you. I think a lot of people are waiting to see, okay, well, this will fall and then we'll pick up the pieces. And I do believe that there's going to be a massive shift in the economy. There's going to be a massive outpouring of wealth and transfer of wealth, right? And it's going to come to us. I do believe that. I do believe in that. I do. But you have got to make a plan for how that happens. You've got to plan. This is your opportunity to succeed. And as you're looking at your opportunity and what you can do, look globally. Why are we so focused on the West only? This is our time to globally have a focus and an opportunity to invest. Now, one of the things and one of the places and opportunities to invest, of course, through Africa and the African Union, is to look at what interests you, right? What is it? What companies, what things really interest you? What is it that really is important to you? And that will tell you where your investment dollars should go, right? That'll tell you where your investment dollars should go. And so we're going to look at some ways and that we're offering here, hubby and I, through our organization or through our company, BlackXodus. We're going to look at how you are able to invest. So let's go back to, let's see, let's go back to BlackXodus if I can get there here. Let's see where we are. Oh, there you are. You left me. Okay, so let's go back to BlackXodus. Let's see if it'll come up. All right. Yeah. So there is that one. Let's see. I'm going to put this back up. This is, oh, here it is. There it is. But it is now we're there. All right. So, and that is under So that's the tour. This is here we are. Go Black Exodus. Go where you're celebrated, not just where you're tolerated. Okay. This is Black Exodus, where every journey becomes a beautiful adventure and sacred experience. Black Exodus is a movement because you remember during the early 1900s, after and especially after slavery, there was a Black Exodus. There was a movement of people and bodies, people, right, who left the South and left the plantations, and they went where? They went to the North. They went out West for better opportunities. And now, with the West, Khalif said this, what's the West for us now? Really is the global South. It's Africa. And so this is where all of the opportunities are, okay, for so many different reasons. And so one of the things that we are creating is Adida, and it is a trade alliance to explore, develop, facilitate, and promote trade and investment opportunities in new and emerging markets like Africa, the Caribbean, Asia, and the global South. And then there's so many benefits to trading and working together, okay? Even if you create your own business and opportunity, we'd like to work with you. We'd like to harness this power as a collective, as a group, with our buying power together. And so trade allowances can lead to increased volume, economic growth, greater access to international markets, to establish global and regional trade alliances. We need to look globally. We are so focused on what we're going to do in America, but we need to start focusing with our Black dollars. 1.98 trillion Black dollars. We need to start looking and focusing on where we can invest globally. And so there are no networking opportunities to expand your professional and business network. There are monthly and online calls that we will have. There's the Adida email newsletter, and there's support for the global supply chain. There's professional development through workshops, in person and online training, as well as a host of other marketing and other opportunities, right? There's access to industry standards, trends, as well as changes in legislation and how these changes access or impact and impact trade, and how to prepare. Okay, Adida members receive discounted services when working with our Adida professionals on the following: developing a business plan, tours, investor summit, which we talked about. There's going to be an investment summit on the Kenya trip, branding, marketing, market research, packaging, shipping, connecting your customers, contracts, legal services, and its ability to start with your customer and find out what it is that they want. So communication, strategic communication is also a part of that. And this is important. Milton has an MBA, so you're working with professionals. We've owned companies before. We have owned an apartment complex, and we have run a contracting services, where we a cleaning service, and so we've also done farming. So we have in agriculture. So we have a lot of experience in this area, and I have a master's in communication. So we want to be there to help you. And so here is the membership to be a part of Adida, and we're happy to work with you. So you will get the discounts on these discounted services, when working with Adida, to work with your, develop your business plan, all of that, because you need to have a plan. You going to the continent is one thing. If you got millions and millions of dollars, great, right? But you also need to have money coming in, constantly coming in. And so the way to do that is to start a business and to have a plan. And so our Black dollars can do so much when we join together, when we know our power, and when we leverage that power. Everyone else is making plans for us. And so it's time for us to make plans for ourselves. And we have that opportunity to make plans for ourselves. Right. If you're in the chat, I see you guys watching. If you're in the chat, go ahead. If you're watching, please go ahead and add your conversation to the chat. What do you think about the opportunity for our Black dollars? What do you think about this opportunity for us to thrive, to not just thrive, not just survive in this economy, and not live in fear, but to really live in peace, to find a place where we can live in peace, where our Black dollars are celebrated, where our Black dollars are really welcome and respected. And so long we have lived here in the West, and our Black dollars have not been respected. Our Black dollars have not been celebrated. We have just gone on and just, worked through it. We just kept going, thinking somehow that the American dream would finally click in for us, that the American dream would finally happen for us. And then for in some parts you get this American dream, in some ways you access it, and it becomes about, housing or a car or clothes or keeping up with the Joneses. And then you realize, wow, I've spent a whole lot of money and I don't have the peace that I would like. I don't have the peace, right, that I wanted or that I deserve, or I don't have the stability in my job. And so this is why it's time for our Black dollars, right, to begin speaking for us, and for us to choose where we're going to invest and how we're going to invest our money. It's us, right? Look at what happened to Target, right? What happened with Target? There was no call from representatives or people, right? Big leaders like in the 60s. We're very savvy, right? And very intelligent. So there was no Black, call for us to, to boycott Target. What do? We just said individually, I ain't going. If they're not going to do DEI, I'm not going. And look at what happened. Target is losing millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars daily. Okay? And so we have to learn how to be independent and how to begin making those good choices for ourselves. Hi, Realist Renee. So good to see you. Thank you so much. You said, Realist Renee leaves a comment, and this is, why haven't Black Americans had input? Where are our Black representatives? Why is this the main focus of why is their main focus is Black dollars? Why are the consumers of why are we the consumers of the group? And so this is a great question, because when you read the information, and I have the information on the I'm gonna put that back up. Thank you so much. This is a great question. I'm really great. I'm glad that you that you brought this question up, because this is great. Let me go back to here it is. Let's see, here we are. Let me go back to the African Union. There it is. Okay, and put it back on the screen, and we'll go through it together. Let's see. I'm gonna allow this, and I'm gonna remove this because this isn't what I wanted. But let's see, stop sharing. We're gonna put this back up, and we're gonna read it together, because I think that is a better question. Here it is. All right, so here it is. Now, when we go look at the African Union and what they say, and that is, we engage, educate, embrace Africans in the 6th region in servant leadership, love to create wealth for personal, national, and global advancement. And so it's not just concentrating on Black dollars in terms of, and that's what people have been saying. And I thought that was so odd, because it's not just concentrating, and it never has been. I'm going to put this link in the chat so you can see it for yourself, because the let's see, African Union 6th region AA. Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people say that, but this has not been the Black dollar in terms of just that it's only about consumerism and for us to consume, because that's not the reality of it. The investment dollars have been for you to come and you to do trade and to invest. I've done a video where I talk about investing in Africa, and I talked about Adida. The video is why aren't you investing in Africa? And I talked about Adida, but I also talked about AGOA and Prosper Africa, which were right. They were American programs that America did, and where they would give zero trade. And so, literally, people in America were actually buying products and then putting them in stores, selling them, all of that. But what happened was white America knew about these things and we didn't. And so now I feel like my job is to really educate people so you can see ways that you can invest. It's not just about you being a consumer. The black dollars are for you to invest, but we've been consumers so much into America that we didn't realize our leverage and our power to invest. We've been workers and consumers. What do? We buy here in America, and we haven't been able to translate that the opportunity that the African Union is saying is for personal wealth, national wealth, and global advancement. It's never been just about us and our buying. So it's buying and investing. That's why I titled the video the way that I did. I know so many people who are on the continent investing and buying. Tanika J, she has a whole shop. She's from America, and she has a whole shop in Kenya, a store, a brand where she is selling American clothes to Kenyans. There are so many examples of that. Okay, there's O'Shea Duke Jackson who does these amazing events over in Uganda. There's Black Acres of the Gambia, in Gambia and Africa, and they have a farm and they are selling everything from cashews to rosemary to a lot of local Gambian foods. I think they have cassava. There are so many opportunities. But if you, as when we read things, because we've always been consumers in America, so then when we read things, we don't hear it. We don't hear the investment portion. We don't see it. We don't recognize it because that's not what we were taught to be. We were taught to be consumers. We were taught to give all of our money away because that's what we do here in America. We don't even invest in Black America, in our Black, in our Black areas as much as we should. Our dollars, what they say, circulates, Black dollars circulate one time. And so now we have the opportunity to listen differently, hear differently, hear with a different ear, that there's an opportunity for economic advancement personally, right? They're talking about it personally. That's the first thing they say. And so no more lies, right? It's about reparations, but it's also about this opportunity to build and invest and to collaborate. It's more than just a cultural exchange, right? It's about a mission and to drive impact, to use and by harnessing the collective talents, resources, and entrepreneurial spirit of our diverse community. We strive to drive sustainable, here we are, economic growth and prosperity to all. How did you miss that? How did we miss that when we were reading it? That somehow we thought that it was all about our economic purchases and about our economic purchasing power, when they're actually asking us to come to build, to drive sustainable economic growth and prosperity for all. We got to watch who we listen to. We got to really watch who we listen to, because I think we're missing it. We're missing it. We're missing the ball here because there's an opportunity, right? Why Black Americans have to forget about our homeland, people, and businesses for the good of all Black people. I'm not quite sure where this, what you mean by why Black Americans have to forget about homeland, people, and businesses for the good of all Black people. I do think that there's strength in numbers and there's a strength in a collective power. For me, I believe that we as African Americans, we as Black people who are native to this land, to America, we are native to the land. We are both. We're dual. That's what I believe, because that's what I was taught. Not in school. I was taught this by my grandmother. Okay. My grandmother taught me this. And they used to call America West Indies. They used to call it the land of the blacks. This is not something I heard. I learned this as a kid in elementary school. This is something my grandma, I from what I remember, was being a kid and her teaching me this. And she had a section where she would low-key teach this as a fourth grade teacher in Batesville, Mississippi. Batesville, Mississippi, at Batesville Intermediate. Okay. I'm just saying Batesville Elementary. And so I grew up learning this. And we are also the descendants of Africans. We are the descendants of enslaved Africans who were brought here and during this transatlantic slave trade against their will. So we're both, okay? But here's the thing. If we were none of those things, the oldest living archaeological evidence has been found of the oldest human is in Kenya. Okay. So your folks, whether they came before or after Columbus, they still came from Africa, right? You have the black queens and black kings and queens who were in Hawaii, where they come from. We were seafaring people, okay? Whether it was Mansa Musa from the Mali Kingdom or wherever, still our people were seafaring people. They went all around the world. And the land masses, to think that that the world looks like it looked years ago, prior to when they were doing maps. Okay, before the big freeze, and then the big thaw. Land masses, we know from archaeological from history that and evidence that land masses were closer together, and now over time during the big drift they drifted apart, and so you could walk and you could move freely. And we didn't have, I mean, long ago in ancient history, ancient times, you didn't have the cold weather that you're having now. And so there were other types of weather. And so they were going on. So there's a whole lot to their history, but we moved. Why should we care? Why should we care? If America goes down in flames, why shouldn't we care? If Apple is a global company, what sense? Why are we the only ones who refuse to invest outside of America? But where do we get that from? Who taught you that? Who's got your eye on Master's house only? Why are we only so concerned about Master, your house burning? You know the story, the field nigga, the house. I mean, can I not say that word? Sorry. Negro, the house Negro. Lord, I almost said something. Y'all got me riled up. I'm just saying, we already know that story. And so why are we the only ones? You've got Apple, right? You've got all these other companies. Walmart right here. I'm in Tennessee, right in Arkansas, is a global company. It is a global company. Why are we the only ones so concerned about being local, about being regional, about being only here in the US? Why are we global? When companies go global, you take companies like Black Enterprise, Essence, right? When they go global, look what happens. They become billionaires. They pop off. Why are we the only ones? Why are we the only ones that we got to look right with our blinders on? Why are we the only ones that's got to stay national when everybody else is boom international? Why can't we be international? You need to be international. That's what I say. If you got a black brand, you got a black business, you owe it to yourself and to your children and to your family to be global, to be international. You owe it to yourself to think globally. While the West is falling, the de-dollarization, while the housing market is collapsing, while agriculture is collapsing, why are you the only one still focused here on America when you have a whole entire world? God gave you the world, the earth, and the fullness thereof. And here you are, only concentrated, only thinking about America. Why? Why are you only thinking about America? Why are you only concentrating on here? You have the opportunity for global investments to thrive. You're talking about all these oligarchies or oligarchies, whatever they're going to call them. They out here concentrating on the world. Elon Musk has a global company. He's from South Africa, came over here. And here we are using all their products. We're using all Walmart's products. We use Target products. These companies are global. And here we are concentrating only on America when you can go ahead and invest and thrive on a global stage. Yes, yes. All right. I love you. I love that question, realist. I love that question. I mean, I love that question. You just don't know how much I love that question because I preach this and talk this all the time with my family. I know my husband, my family, my friends get tired of hearing this because I preach this all the time. I love you and I appreciate you for asking that question because we have the opportunity. Don't even think about this mic. Think about Amazon, okay? Because I got this as a gift from Amazon. Okay, no, not this one. It's something else I got from Amazon. But this did come from Amazon. This was actually my Mother's Day gift. All right, but think about this. My mirror was a gift from Amazon. I did this as a collab with Amazon. This mirror and this desk area. Okay, you think about my iPad. This cup, the people who created this cup. Here it is. It's H whatever X whatever this company name is. They're global. They don't just sell in America. They sell all over the world. You hear me? We got to think globally. We got to think globally because we're thinking too small. God wants to expand, and blow up your weight. Okay, come on here, Jamie Foxx. He wants to blow up your weight, your life, expand your life. But you can't do that thinking small, thinking only about America. America's had us so focused with blinders on. Yes. And it's just time. It's just time. It's just time, right? That we think globally. And so this is the African Union. This is their website. I want you to go look at it. Read it for yourself because I've heard people talking about this. And I was like, I got to talk about this. The reason I got to talk about it is because they're selling you short. They're not telling you the truth. They're not telling you the whole truth. You got to research this stuff for yourself. You're not being told the whole truth about the opportunities that exist for you to become wealthy and for you and your children and children's children to invest globally. They're giving you the opportunity to invest in countries globally. Speaking of that, we're going to Kenya. All right, we're going to Kenya. I have left the link here for you to be a part of the Kenya trip. And we can look at investments. We're going to look at residential. We're going to look at retail investments. I just need you to go. I just need you to get out of your fear. I just need you to get out of your small national frame and go. Because the supremacists have an idea of what they want to do for this country. And I promise you, they're on a plan. If you look at what 47 is doing to burn it down, they will burn it down before they give it to you, even though it's your homeland, even though it's your place, right? But the ancestors are talking, all right? They talking about water, they talking about rain, they talking about fire, okay? You see all what's happening with the weather. That's just the ancestors. They just talking, all right? But I want you to go on this trip with me to Kenya, okay? Go on this trip with me. All right. Email me at theblackexodus.com. We about to exit our money. This 1.98 billion. We about to do big things, right? We're about to do amazing things. And so, Bat of Yahuwah says, I need to learn more about investing. So I'm going to look into your business because I've been to Kenya and want to return, but with a business. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're going to do it right this time. We're going to do it right this time. It's time to go with a business to make our money. We know what products we love. We know these are my favorite pens, y'all. This is my favorite pens, okay? And my husband loves these pens too. Toll. They're an international brand. You look around, you would be surprised at the basic things that you can invest in, buy wholesale, or produce yourself, whatever it is. You're looking at the continent. They have cassava. They have all kinds of things, pineapple. They have lemons, all kinds of things they grow. I was looking at, somebody was talking about lemon juice, and they were getting lemon juice from Spain. You know where Spain was? I think, if I'm not mistaken, where Spain was getting it from was from Africa. You look at what's happening in Burkina Faso with the tomatoes and tomato sauce. what can you do with tomato sauce? If you grow tomatoes or you're buying it wholesale, what can you do? How many products can you make with tomatoes? Look, I was just looking at Zambia. I think it was Zambia or Zimbabwe had blueberries. How many products can you make with blueberries? Kenya has tea. Kenya has so many different amazing products. What's your product? What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you love? Even if you're not passionate about it, what is it that you do and you use every single day? Lotion, shea butter. What is it that you use? You wear clothes, Lesotho. All right, so Lesotho is the biggest, one of the largest, let me say one of, because I won't get myself in trouble, but one of the largest producers in Africa. They work with Levi's. Your Levi jeans that you thought were American, that they told y'all, lied to me, and said were America when we were back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, wearing 501 button-up jeans. Y'all remember? Because Janet Jackson's show was wearing. Y'all remember that? She was wearing the those black Levi, those black jeans. She made them popular. Y'all remember that? Yeah, Lesotho. Lesotho. Okay, Lesotho. Let me pronounce it right for somebody come get me in these comments. Y'all ain't about to get me. You know who else makes blue jeans? Kenya. Apparel. They're one of the largest makers of apparel. Okay. There's so many opportunities. Yes, I would love for you to reach out to me. Please reach out to me. Please email me. Become a part of Adida, please. Because we got business to do. We got money to make. We got billions to make. Who is the next superpower in the world? Africa. Who are the next oligarchies? You and me. Who are the next billionaires? You and me. Because you got to have a global presence in the world. You got to think globally and come on a global stage. Yes, it's our time. They thought they were doing something ugly, but the ancestors said it's all for your good. Right? Right. It's all for your good. It's all for your good. Hair, let's see. Hair epi, okay? It says it's so funny. While people argue if they are African, not everybody and their mama is investing as African, or not everybody. Let's see. It's so funny. While people arguing if they are African or not, everybody and their mama is investing in Africa. Let me tell you something. I love this comment. I want to make sure I got it right. Where my glasses at, y'all? I should have been reading with some. Y'all know I got glasses. I should have been reading these comments with glasses. That's all I'm saying. But look, let me tell y'all something. I was just talking to hubby about this today. I was telling him I watched this video with this guy who was in Kenya. And who belongs to everybody? Right. He was walking around the restaurant and he said, everybody. He said, everybody. That's what he said. He said, everybody in Kenya. Right? Everybody is in Africa. And he panned around to show his camera, right? So he could show his camera. And I promise you, in the restaurant where he was, on the side, just a pan where he was, it might have been 20 tables. I promise you, it was at least 10 to 12 tables of who? Everybody else. We were there too. Now, black people were there too, but they were full. They are coming in groves. I just watched a family. I wish I could remember this family's name, but it was a white gentleman. And the reason I clicked on it was because it said, I'm moving my family to Africa. And I saw his face up there. It wasn't golden. It wasn't, it wasn't this, right? It wasn't you, bruh, sister, kaka, dada. It wasn't you, all right? The kaka and dada, brother, sister, Africa, in Swahili. It wasn't you. It wasn't your black face. It was them, right? It was others. And I'm like, how is it we not over there? How is it we sitting here arguing about this, that, and I'm with you? How we sitting here arguing? And I apologize if I didn't say your name correctly. I apologize. I'm Synolve, okay? I give a lot of people a lot of grace about names because, look, I know names are not always easy for everybody. Honey, they over there in Groves, moving their whole family, taking everybody to Africa. Why are we not investing? I got a whole video on that. Why are you not investing in Africa? They got us on these petty games, and it really is arguing about, are you African, are you not? Look, how come you're not, when the first original people were African? How come you're not? And say that again and preach somebody. And then not only that, as I said, the Africans were seafarers. They traveled the world. They were conquerors. Okay. So how come that now? How come you're not African? We know you were over here before Columbus. We got that, but you still African. They're yeah, different artifacts are already over here. Akan symbols, Akan artifacts were already here that predate Columbus. Okay, we know you over here. We know Mansa Musa traveled. Come on, somebody. We know. My grandmother taught me this as a kid, as a child. I didn't get this just now. I knew this growing up. Come on, you preaching. You sis. I love this comment. I'm just saying. The future of Africa is the future. Let me put these glasses on. I see. The future. Come on, somebody. Is what? Let's say it together. Is Africa. Whether you like it or not. You like it or don't like it. Honey, love it or lump it. Okay? It's Africa. You hear me? The future is Africa. We forget that. We forget that. Okay? That the future is Africa. Whether you like it or not. Africa. Look, it is time. It is time to really get ourselves together on what it is. Okay, let me I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go back to my website because I want to show you this. Okay, to show you this, because I'm going to go to, let's see, entire screen, allow, and then come back out. For some reason it'll do it when I do it this way, but I'm going to go back because I want to read some stats for you, because I want you to see this. You got to see these numbers. I have them on my website. I have my website in the below, so I want you to see these numbers. Okay, I don't know what y'all think Africa looks like, right? But this is BlackXodus. Okay, you'll see the link in the link below. In the comments, I'm going to put it back here again so you can see my website. Thank you, hubby, for developing this website. He created this website. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. We're going where we celebrate it, but I want to get down here to some of these beautiful numbers. But I want to show you this Maasai. I want to show you beautiful Nairobi. We're going on a trip. You got to come. Look at this skyline. Do you hear me? This is Africa. I don't know what they told you that Africa looked like, okay? But this is Africa, right? Yes, there's so many cultural things, and we're going to go on safari. There are the beaches. There's so many, but look at these products for you to buy. Look at these products that you can buy and buy wholesale and then sell them again. But I want to come back because you're going to embark on your next journey. These are some of the cities that we'll be going to, but look at this. Africa rising. Invest in Africa. If you want to know anything about why you should invest in Africa, here it is. By 2050, the population of Africa will be 2.5 billion. People are always, why we got to be the consumers. Look, you got a product, glasses, okay? You got a product, whatever they may be in Africa, that you want to invest, you want to sell and put into the marketplace. There are 900 million consumers on the continent. You better create black and you better buy black. Do you see this? You're not seeing this? We worried about our few little dollars, our trillion. Africa is like, we want to work with you because you're the sixth region, because you are our people. Okay? Understand and hear that clearly. You're our people, right? We want to work with you. Okay, so you can invest and so you can create. This gives you the opportunity to tap into their millions, their billions. Okay, have you not heard of Dangote in Nigeria, who owns oil? One of the richest men in the world. This is Africa. Y'all, come on, let me preach now. 9 of the 20 fastest growing industries and economies are in Africa. Niger, Libya, Senegal, Rwanda, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Gambia, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, and Kenya have the largest, have the fastest growing industries. Do you see this? Okay, it's time to invest in Africa. It is time to invest in Africa. Right. This is the time. I'm showing you Adida again. This is the membership. Please reach out. Please become a part. We have discounts if you're a member of Adida, where you can where you can get discounts on creating your business plan. Also, if you just want to reach out to us and just want to create a business plan, hubby and I will be happy, more than happy to work with you. There's a contact page, or email us at the BlackXodus@gmail.com. It's in the description, but it's also in the chat here tonight. Yes, because we're going to go take our money and we are going to invest in Africa. We have the Black Investor Summit. If you're in Kenya in September, you go on this trip with us, you will see it, right? You will see it. And so there's so many opportunities and so many reasons why we should invest in Africa, and we should do it right now. Take our black dollars and Exodus. Okay, exit me. Okay. Yes, Exodus. The future is Africa. Renee, she says she's giving a response. Hair epi. The black dollars they are referring to includes all Black citizens in America, not just FBAs. Right. It does include the diaspora. Now we're talking largely about the African Americans and our black dollars, but it is not. I think I want y'all, not to be confused that it's just about you consuming. We hear consumption because that's what we're all accustomed to here in America. That's all we've been. And the reason that's all we've been is because every time we build something, they tear it down. Who flooded our neighborhoods with drugs when we weren't the ones to have ships? We didn't have the connects. We weren't doing these things. Who did that? Who tore down Seneca Village, which was an all Black city? Over 100 cities burned down, towns burned down, bulldozed, or people massacred and ran out. What happened to the Tulsa the massacre, Tulsa race massacre? What happened? All these black dollars, all this black money. At one point in time, did you realize that you have got to start building somewhere else? When do you realize, with all these products and things that are happening all around the world, simple products that I got this, I bought this for my office. Okay, I love this thing. It's rose gold. Okay, one of my favorite colors. All right, this is a Post-it and a Post-it note. You could be selling this. Do you not understand this in Africa? What are y'all thinking? These Post-it notes, do you think they only sell in America? No, baby, they global. They global. When? It's like, this makes no sense to me. When? Okay. Here it is. This is I love this thing. You know what it is? It's a thumb drive. All right, for me to save all my stuff, save my files and stuff on it, so I can look cute when I go out. They global. This company. When are you gonna look outside of America and realize the opportunities that you have? Because the future is Africa, right? The future is Africa, right? And so let me get my glasses. The world wants black dollars. Look at what they're doing to us and Africa. Right. Well, the world wants black dollars. They do. Look, the world wants black dollars. China wants black dollars. Russia wants black dollars. Everybody is on the constant investing, building stores, restaurants, apartments, houses. Look, companies. Okay? There's so many opportunities. All of the minerals come from Africa. I mean, what minerals? What computer do you have? Tell me what computer you have. What iPad you have without the minerals from Africa, the cobalt and other minerals, lithium for batteries. Please tell me what industry you have, and you worried about investing in America? And what minerals does America have and produce? A little bit of oil. They got a little bit of gas, oil, natural gas, but you got to go in the sea to get it if you can, and it's not even prevalent. Okay, so tell me again why you're not investing in Africa. Tell me again why there's no opportunity. You don't think there's an opportunity in Africa? They don't just want you to spend, they want you to invest. Who else is offering you the opportunity to invest? Because America sure ain't. DEI 1965. Come on now, the ruling that they just did on 19 saying that in government contracting that they can discriminate. They can discriminate in government contracting. They can discriminate. There's no diversity, inclusion, and equity anymore. Okay. Tell me again why you won't invest. All right. So here we go. This comment. Stop demeaning Black Americans intellect. You are trying too hard to make us look small-minded. Oh, okay. Baby, look, darling. Don't do that. Don't do that. I really, this is one of the things. If you know me, my degree is in my specialty. Okay, my master's degree is in communication. My specialty is in strategic communication. I'm not trying. I'm not trying at all. Really, I'm not. You're trying. You're trying, baby. Okay, you're trying really hard because I know you're smart. I know you're intellectual. And I always, when I look at these comments, look, because I always know white supremacists, they work harder than anybody to keep us apart and to keep us from talking about Black dollars invested in Africa. Don't nobody work harder than a supremacist, okay? A W supremacist on trying to keep us apart and trying to keep the Black dollars right here in America. If you invest in Africa, if you start a company, right? Why are you thinking they making the export so hard? Because they know that if you start exporting and working with that, we should be the ones exporting oil as African Americans. We should have been the one in the diaspora. We should have been exporting oil here. Why was it work so hard? You think I'm working hard? The white supremacists working overtime. Okay, you hear me? 47 working overtime. The Heritage Foundation is working overtime. And you know what? Y'all about to let them win. Y'all about to let them win. And it's sad. Because I know you're intellectual. I know you're smart. I know this. Why? Because I grew up with y'all. I grew up in a Black community in Batesville, Mississippi. You understand me? Yes, I have lived my majority of my life growing up in childhood in a Black community. Yes, even as getting married and young, lived in the Black community, worked in the Black community, had a whole organization where we fed people, had a community garden in the Black community. And you know what I realized? We got to go global. We got to go global. Yes, because there's too many smart people that the world is saying dumb, right? That are growing food and are able to pick up skills so quickly. Who you think running these corporations here in America? Walmart and all. We are. We're the backbone. If you take your money and you start investing, you use that intellect, okay? Who you think scared? I'm proud. Who you think scared? I love it. I love it. I love it, y'all. I thank y'all for these comments. Keep them coming, honey. Keep them coming. Hey, sis. I am Caribbean American on my way to move to Kenya. Woo! Yes, I have a penthouse in Zanzibar. Come on now. Oh, you need to email me. We need to talk. Okay, please email me. We need to connect, sis. We need to, bruh. I mean, you know who. Hubby and I need to connect. I have a penthouse in Zanzibar, and I'm trying to get a place in Cape Town, then Kenya. I love your channel. Keep pushing. I love you. Oh, hugs. This is what I'm talking about. We moving, we growing. Nothing gonna stop us. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. Ain't nothing gonna hold us down. Ain't nobody gonna stop us. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Ain't nobody finna hold us back. All these laws that they keep creating, DEI, pulling down, making up laws, pulling down folks, whatever they doing. They can do alligator Alcatraz. They can do whatever they want to do. We got a plan. All I'm suggesting is you get a plan, because the de-dollarization that's happening, it won't stop. It won't stop. You think it's gonna stop? It's not gonna stop. The housing is collapsing. The housing industry in America is collapsing as we speak. Farming is collapsing. They just they just sent out today, because I have to keep up with it. Hubby and I have to keep up. We got to know. Okay. We don't just feed off of what nobody else tell us. We're on the USDA emails. Okay. And today they are finishing all of the regional grants. So those regional grants for farming and agriculture, they're ending it. They ended it today. That was what the whole Senate thing was about when they were on speaking live. Was it yesterday and today? And they were saying that they're debating right now, okay, in Congress, about all of the money. Was $900 million that was approved in the USDA budget. Farming agriculture budget was a part of that. So all these grants and all of these programs that were previously funded by bipartisans, right, from both the Republican and Democrat, now Trump wants to cancel it out. 47 wants to cancel it all. What? If you want to invest in America, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Bat of Yahuwah says, realistic. I don't think she is. Please don't be offended. I think she's bringing out the lack of opportunities for us we haven't considered. Yes. Look, we have so many opportunities to invest abroad and to be global companies. Everything you see behind me, everything you see, these are global companies. I gave the example, right, of the iPhone. Global companies, right? Global company. Apple is a global multi-million-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company. Okay? Everything you can think of, right? Essential oils, which you can get on the continent, right? Right? This is Whole 365. Well, this is Whole Foods, right? Whole Foods, global company. Even before, you know how much vegetables, how many vegetables they import into your local grocery store, Kroger, Harris Teeter, you name it, Walmart, you name it, whatever your local stores are. Global. We're thinking locally. So no, you're right. I'm trying to bring awareness. I hope you hear me. Please hear my heart, because I want you to thrive. I'm for Black America. This is why I created Adida, because literally God woke me up in a dream. I was upset. I had been crying. I was upset. I went to bed upset when he ended DEI. I was so upset for Black America and what we were going to do as a people. And what we have to do, right, when Spirit was talking to me, was you got to look outside. You got to go outside. You can't just stay in America. You got to look outside. So please hear my heart. Please hear my heart. I want the best for you. I do. And we're going to get it too. Okay. You are wise. I speak success on your ideas. Yes. Success. We can do this. We got this. Right? The ancestors got it. We got this. Right? And better y'all are amazing. Thank you. Same to you. I love that. Okay. I love that. Yes, the white family moved to that is them. They moved to Tanzania. The whole family moved to Tanzania. You hear me? I was like, what? They don't move the whole family to Tanzania. Everybody. They moved. I think it's 2 girls and a boy. Yeah, I think it's 2 girls and a boy, the wife and the mom, and they moved to Tanzania. I was looking at them. They were picking got a mosquito in here, but they were picking was it mangoes? They were picking something. They were picking, I think, mangoes, and I saw that, and I'm like, what? They were in the car, in the van, minivan, whatever they were doing. I think they were leaving their parents' house or leaving something. It might have been their house, and they were moving to Africa, and here we are, sitting in the West with all this opportunity, with all of this prosperity, with all this wealth, all the products that are grown, the foods that are grown, cassava. Y'all know, and I've talked about this before, when the Ukraine conflict happened, right, with Russia, when that conflict happened, it imploded the wheat market. So a lot of our products, are made with wheat, flour. Okay, so they're made with wheat. And you know where the world turned for flour and products? Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, and other countries who grow what? Cassava. And they're making cassava flour, which is better for you than the wheat. People don't, it's gluten free. So, people like me who have gluten allergies, they turn to cassava. What are we doing? The world is turning to, and has always. Zambia, what was it? Zimbabwe used to be called the bread basket of the world because of the products that they produced. Nigeria's oil. They're trying to build a pipeline from Nigeria to Europe so they can get oil because they don't have oil. Europe would freeze to death without Africa. You think the oil is piping through your natural gas? A lot of it is coming from Nigeria. It's coming from Africa. We sitting here in the West, but we don't know. Like, we don't know, and we don't investigate. We hear what someone else tells us, and then we repeat that, because they didn't investigate. You have the opportunity. It's up to you, right? At the end of the day, it's up to you. I hope you'll take it. I hope you'll take this opportunity, right? Because it's there for you, right? It's there for you. The ancestors always wanted to return home. I say that because I believe that. They didn't want to be stuck here in America. The first thing they wanted to return, and they did go home. Many of them went to Liberia, right? When Marcus Garvey, the honorable Marcus Garvey, when he had to go back to Africa movement, people left and they went. But you decide. You want to go full time, you want to go part time, you just want to go as an investor. It's up to you. Facebook, global. Instagram, global. The original person who owned Instagram, global business. Right? TikTok shop. Look at all the stuff on TikTok shop. These are global Chinese. These are global businesses. Don't get left out where everybody's over there except you and me. Okay, I ain't gonna be left out, but I'm just saying. Okay, I love y'all. Y'all still love me? Oh no. Okay, let me read. Okay, y'all. We in church. Okay. don't pay me no attention. The one thing about Kenya is they are looking so Western now. No African attire is worn except in certain villages. Interesting. You know, here's what I think about that. It ain't none of my business. That's how I think about that. I think that we all grow and we all learn. And one of the things that, we don't realize about Kenya, and, that's not really said because we only know American culture. And we really don't know that. We only know American history, and we don't know that. We don't even really know. We know what we were taught in school. Some of us have retained some of it. But, we don't, because my daughter, I retained a lot of it because my daughter has a degree in history. So we get historized, quite oftenly and corrected, right, about history. But we don't even know African American history. We don't know Black history. We don't. We don't know the story. We just don't. And so one of the things, when they say that about Kenya, is that Kenya was colonized by the British. So what do they wear? Colonized apparel. There were there were different entities, churches, who made it their business to go out into the villages and proselytize and set up. There are other people here from Kenya who probably can tell the story better than I can, but I'm researching and reading as I try to learn Swahili. But go out to the villages and would dress and pay, dress people in European garb and European garments. They've had some of the same. We fuss about Africa, but they've had some. Look at Black America. Look how Black America looks. Look at our cities and our areas within the United States. Look at how we dress. Before we can go and we can, before we can go, we got to really look at Kenya. We got to really look at what's happening to us, right? We don't dress in African clothing. We don't. We don't dress. We don't wear African clothing, not on a daily. Maybe Easter at some churches, maybe Black History, maybe Juneteenth. Maybe Kwanzaa, if you still practice. So was that about 4 times a year? Yeah. That's why you need your African business. That's why we need our African businesses so that we can, right, dress and we can have access to African cloth. It's very modern. In fact, the UN is moving, right? They're already started, but they're moving their headquarters to Kenya, right? And there's a lot of development that's going on in Kenya because of that. But yeah, they were colonized. Kenya was colonized by the British, so they dress just like we do. What happens with colonization? They strip you, right, of your dress, your language, all of that. Now, Kenya has been able to retain more than we have as Black Americans because we have it was all beaten, lynched, stripped out of us the way that they sold us as babies. You have no idea who you are. No idea. So yeah, I understand that. But it is in certain villages, and I love that. And they know who they are. They know that they're Kikuyu or they are Maasai or one of the other tribes. They know that. They know where they come from. There's so many of them folks in Cape Town. I'm talking about America. Look, say something. You better say, and then they come, and then the Afrikaners are coming here. Ooh, Lord, have mercy. You preaching now. Yeah, it's Cape Town. It's a lot of people over in Cape. Yes, of them folks over there in Cape Town. Yeah, it's a lot of them over there. A whole bunch. All right, thanks. Essay was not for me. Too many of them folks. I can see. Yeah, I can see that. It's a good investment opportunity though. So that is what it is. There's a BlackXodus website if you are interested. Okay. Yes, I agree, but I am a real estate investor. Okay. So I want to include Cape Town in my portfolio, but will be living full time in Kenya. Yes. Investment portfolio. I was just looking at someone who had talking to someone in their investment portfolio, and it included their first stop was Zanzibar, right? And so she was, her and her husband, the first stop is Zanzibar, but her full plans for her portfolio include Kenya and possibly South Africa. She actually looked at South Africa first. But yeah, South Africa is a great place for a portfolio. And that's what I'm saying. It's an investment mindset. You have to have an investment mindset, and that's a little bit different than a living mindset. Like, I want to live here, I want to be here. South Africa is a powerhouse in Africa when it comes to investment. There's, like I said, Lesotho, which is right next door, Botswana. That South African bloc, right? Of not just the country South Africa, but the South African bloc. There's a lot of opportunity for investment there. Even Botswana. Botswana has the largest stock exchange, right? One of the most stable stock exchanges in Africa. There's so much we don't know because we're not listening with an investor mindset. We're listening with a living mindset. Like, I want to be a resident. I want to live there. But we got to switch over, right? From a consumer mindset to implanting our feet to a investor mindset. That's going to be what's beneficial for an Africanized mind, for an African mind. the new African mind that must happen. It must be in us. Let this mind be in us. Okay. It's a different mindset. I hear your business. All right. I love this. All right. I love this, y'all. I love this conversation. Burkina Faso is coming fast. You better ask somebody. Look, I love Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is coming fast. It's coming. I've done so many videos on Burkina Faso. I believe in Burkina Faso. I believe in Captain Ibrahim, President Captain Ibrahim Traore. I know so many good things are happening in Burkina Faso, from the concrete manufacturing facilities that they're building, the multiple, I think they're going to have three, we'll have three this year, the multiple tomato factories, new hospitals, free education, housing for the homeless. What's that go on? There is so many good things that are happening in Burkina Faso. Milton said, this is a great conversation. It is. When like-minded people come together, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to have the same. You just have to have a thought of, I want to do something. Okay. It doesn't matter to me what side of the place of the building you're on. I'm just glad we just need to have a think tank. We just need to think, right? Because they're intellectuals on both sides of the spectrum. No matter where you fit, no matter where you think, like, I'd never go there. Okay, that's your business. Hey, I love you just the same. I want you to invest. I want you to open your mind and open your heart to the opportunities that exist around the world, because they exist. They do exist. Okay. Better than the Easter Bunny. I'm telling you, there there are real opportunities. Seriously, I'm I like to play, I like to joke, but there are real opportunities, and it's time that we take part of it, to be more than just consumers. America has positioned us to be consumers and to buy all the things from them. That's what they wanted. That's why they burn black businesses. That's why they ride around in the hoods and have put the big burning, crosses and stuff in our yards, and black towns have been bulldozed and people have been unalived. It's time. We don't have to stay here. You might have been brought here, but you ain't got to stay here. Okay? Okay. All right. Cosmic Minds 333 checking in. Okay, come on, hit that bell. Yes, give that like and thumbs up, y'all. Please, this helps the video. Right now, give that like, give that thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I know some of y'all are subscribers and y'all have just been in the background listening. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Go ahead and subscribe. And thank you all for coming on in the chat. Please come on in the chat. Hop on in. Look, and hit that notification bell. This is come on. Cosmic Minds 3333. I love that 333. Yes, come on, hit that notification bell so you are always notified, okay? Whenever I do a video. And look, come on down and be on the email list, because when I go live, I always send out a information about so you can join the email list. So be sure to join the email list, and it's in the description. It's a job form. Go ahead and be a part of that if you don't mind. Thank you so much. Who flooded the black towns? Seneca Village. If you look up Seneca Village, and you will see that black town was turned into a park. So it's turned into a park, and that is what happened. It's turned into Central Park. So, and there are so many. Therapy gives a list of them. There's Seneca Village. There's Black Wall Street, which was in Tulsa. There's Oscarville, Blackwood, Florida, and the list goes on. There's over 100 towns that were turned into lakes. Some were flooded and turned into lakes, and they were. And some were burned, some were bulldozed and turned into parks. Some were burned and the residents chased out, like Tulsa, the Tulsa massacre for Black Wall Street in Tulsa, and so Oklahoma. So yeah, it's a system. The same people depend on so much. Yeah, it's a system, simply. Yeah, and it's time for us. I love this. We must unlearn and relearn. over and over again. We must unlearn and relearn over and over again because we can't miss these opportunities. Milton says, this is hubby, y'all. Thank you for being here. Hubby built my website. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. It's time, right? Well, Cosmic says, when BRICS comes, we'll see how things go. You better come on. When BRICS comes and the de-dollaration, you just gonna see. You gonna see how things are gonna go, and it's not gonna be happy. So it's time now for us to go ahead and make our decision and do something. Make a plan. Get a business plan. Get a strategy. Figure out what it is you want to do. We don't have to sit here with our hands twiddle dee and twiddle dum. We don't have to sit here with this, just twiddling our thumbs, waiting, right? In fear, waiting, trying to figure out what's going to happen. It's time. It is time to go ahead and invest and to make a decision about what it is that we want to do. We have a choice. We have been treated as we didn't have a choice, but we do have a choice. You have a choice. You don't have to sit here. You don't have to take it. You can pack up your bags and you can come on this tour. You can pack your bags and you can come on the tour with us in September to Kenya. Yes, it's time. We have this opportunity. It's time. You can pack your bags and you can become a part of Adida with us and invest. Learn how to invest. Learn how to begin creating a strategy, a wealth building strategy for you and your family because it's time. We can't depend on them. Why? We can't depend on them because look at what's happening. Look at what's happening already. They over there. They over there. Yeah, they over there. They're already over there, honey. They're there. While they're telling you not to go, while they're hiring all of these, different trolls and different people to say and talk about Africa in such a negative way, they're already there. They're already investing. Where do you think all of these trophies have come from? When they have the big lions and the big trophies on their wall and they've been to safari, you ever been to your boss's house? I met Fred Smith once. Hubby and I met Fred Smith. Um, and who's the founder of FedEx? Okay. Global company. You know where he's from? Mississippi. Where am I from? Mississippi. I'm a little bitty Mississippi girl with dreams, with big dreams of investing globally. You hear me? I'm from Mississippi. Oprah is from Mississippi. There's so many amazing people. Jerry Rice, football player, Mississippi. I got a little dream. Okay, I got a big dream. I'm a little girl with a big dream. From a little girl, I've had this dream to go to Africa. And I'm going now. Okay? I'm not waiting. Because big dreams build big things, but it starts with a dream. It starts right here in your mind. Hubby's from Tennessee. His family's from Mississippi. Big dream, dreaming big. Okay? That's where it starts. We're not waiting on BRICS. We're not waiting to see what BRICS, what China's gonna do with that whole clump. Y'all keeping up with the news? So now BRICS is working with Africa to begin the UN, right? I'm hoping to pronounce it right. The yen, I will say the yen, but to place their currency, to begin, I'm sorry, exchanging their currency with African nations instead of using the dollar. Y'all, wake up. Wake up. They will burn this down before they let you have it. Now, do I believe that the wealth of the wicked is coming to us? I do. I do. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to get our little dollars and coins together and we're going to invest globally because that's the next stage of what's happening. That's where the world is going, right? With the AES, with Africa, right? Also, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali have their own. Look, have you seen what Mali and Niger have been doing with their gold? Have you been seeing that? They're taking back their gold. Chad, when America told Chad that they were not going to allow them, Chad, to come to America and to be a part of the be able to come to America anymore. They were, pulling back these their passports, the visas. That's what it was going on. What did Chad say? Well, we ain't gonna let no Americans come. Chad has wealth. You understand? Chad has gold mines. When's the last time you saw a gold mine in America? Where did all the gold come from that's in America now? Have you researched that? Oh my gosh, this is good stuff. Where it come from? Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. Where'd it come from? Okay, they're taking their minerals, they're taking their gold, they're taking their resources back. That's why Char is one of the most, powerful men. He's in Africa. Kenya, powerhouse, right? South Africa, powerhouse. South Africa has diamonds. You hear me? And gold. They say there's it's so much gold. I would invest in Cape Town myself. They say it's so much gold in South Africa that it's literally in the dirt. Like you literally could be digging. Look at Ghana. Gold. They're taking their gold back. Y'all see that? Good things are happening in Africa. You better want to be on the continent because that's where all the resources are. You find out you get empowered. They made you president today. You will find out how much you really relied on Africa. How much America really relies on Africa. Wake up call. Look, BRICS already is there. Already here in Africa. They are doing settlements in crypto instead of the American dollar. Let's talk about de-dollaration. It's like the most high is making them crash the country. That's also in the Bible. The wealth of the wicked will return over to the wise. You better come on, somebody. You better get on this bandwagon. Let the Lord use you. Come on, it's time. Right? It is time. Yes. It's time. It's time. It is time. Right? Hit that notification bell. Come on. All right. Preach this. I really believe this whole division thing is being facilitated by the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025. I do too. I think it's manufactured. I think it's and it's agents in disguise, but I think it's manufactured. And what they're doing, this is, right here. This right here. They are capitalizing on the trauma of Black people. They're capitalizing on, this is the capitalization of trauma of Black people. And they're capitalizing on our need and desire to have an identity, to have our own heritage. And I don't think there's anything wrong for African Americans here in this country to have their own identity and have our own heritage. There's so many tribes in Africa. This is how you know we're African, because we want to have our own tribe. If nothing else tells you, not the foods. Okay, so the okra, where did it come from, Africa? Okay, so it's not the rice. So where did it come from, Africa? Do you not know in Kenya that Mombasa and Diani Beach that they have, where is it? Watamu. That's what it was. I was researching. It's in Watamu. Watamu, right? They have rice, right? Which used to be, you could grow some in America. And some some of that rice and grits are coming back. The rice over in Arkansas and in parts deep in Mississippi, where I'm from, the Delta. All right, come on, somebody. I'm just saying. But these people, the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 are capitalizing on our Black trauma. Now, the trauma runs deep because the trauma is ancestral trauma through slavery and through taking over indigenous people and trying to wipe our memory. But our memory is so strong that it comes out anyway in the foods that we eat, in the way that we talk, in our need and desire for tribal, right? For tribes and tribalism. And not tribalism in a negative way, just identity, to know who we are. But memory is so strong. Memory is in the coils of our hair. You understand? Memory is in the foods that we eat. Memory is in the celebrations as we come together. So as much as they try to wipe it and try to take it away, they can't stop it. But they try. And so It runs deep. The Stockholm Syndrome loves to divide us, and they use our emotions as a sounding board. We must unite and be the change we truly want to see and be. Brother, I love this. Yes, yes. Badam Yahuwah. Yes, yes. That's so deep. I don't know. We might have to close it there. We're at an hour, y'all. Look at that. We're at an hour and 45 minutes. Look at that. We're about to come on the two hour mark, and I'm telling you, this is amazing because I just did a video about this. I did 2 videos today that I got to edit, and it really is the second part. I really realized when I was sitting there, and I said it. It really can't. This is about our trauma. This is about a lot of why we don't invest in Africa. A lot of why we don't see the opportunity has to do with our trauma because it was beaten out of us. It was snatched out of us at birth. The separation anxiety, all of these things that we're going through, have gone through as a people. Our ancestors gone through. It's trauma we felt in the womb because they know the way that they continue to thrive and survive is to keep us separate, to keep us separated. Even in Black American, as we're arguing over ADOS, FBA, we're arguing over those things. They know that our need and desire is to have our own tribe, the same way that the Kikuyu in Kenya or the Maasai or the Shanghai and all of the other tribes, the Malagasy, all the other tribes throughout Africa, there are beautiful, amazing, the Igbo in Nigeria, the Yoruba, right? The Akan. They know that we desire because we were stripped away from our tribe. We know our desire is for African Americans who were born here in this country, whose ancestors were enslaved. They know that we want a tribe because when other people come here from other countries, when they come from Africa, they come from Nigeria. They may be Igbo, right? Or they or maybe Yoruba. They know we know this. And they know we want and desire to be part of a tribe, to be because of our heritage and our culture. And for us, right, I can only speak for myself, it's not a thing that I if separating from somebody else or saying that, another person in the diaspora from UK who's African descent or from Africa, the continent itself, is not to say I'm trying to separate from them. It's to say we want to be African Americans. We want to be like y'all. We want to have our unique identity and tribe too. We want that for ourselves. They know this trauma. They know what we desire. They know us. They've done the market research. They know us better than we know ourselves. I can say this loudly that I have that trauma. I have that in with me. That's something that I want to heal. That's something that I want for myself and for my family, my descendants. I can say that because I know it's real. I was part of the movement in the 80s and the 90s that to call ourselves African Americans. This was Gen X. This is who did this. We were the ones striking off on the applications for job applications, for student applications, for all of that. We were the ones striking out Black and when they just called us Black, and we wrote in African Americans. We were the ones listening to the speeches with Dr. Karanga and with Reverend Jesse Jackson about calling ourselves African Americans. And what has that led to? It led to us being a part of the 6th region of Africa, of being formally recognized. Naming is important. It is important. What we call ourselves is important. How we identify ourselves is important. And reaching to Africa, something greater than ourselves, something amazing and beautiful and wonderful, is amazing. But it doesn't mean we're separating. I'm still a Pan-African. It doesn't mean I still want to move to Kenya. I still want to have a business in Kenya. But it just means that I know who I am. And for people to take that and twist it and take that trauma of us not knowing, of being separated at birth, of being stripped away from our, as when you're stripped away from your families, from plantation to plantation, sold, the terror, the fear, right? All of that happened. And they know what they've done. That's why they're taking off the names off of the graveyards of the armed service people who served. That's why they're stripping the names off of the army base, the military bases of Black people, right? And returning them back to the Confederate name. So I'm just saying, they know. Yes, they know. Yes, they know. They know the trauma. They know. And they know the powerful Black American history is a powerful history. And they know how connected that history is to the Bible. To the book that they gave us, right? That they changed. Okay, I know Ethiopia. I know y'all already had. But I'm just saying, they know. They know tribal, that we're one of the 12 tribes. Of course, they know. They know. They know all of this. They were one of the 12 tribes. They tried to say all that stuff. They know. And so you need to know. But when other people in the diaspora hear our story, because like I said, my degree is a master's in communication, right? Strategic communication. I studied it because I wanted to. My grandmother said something when I was young. She said, "You need to know, if you're going to live in this country, you need to understand and know how the white man speaks." That's what she told me. I got a degree, bachelor's degree in English, right, with a concentration in professional and technical writing, and a minor in African studies, because they didn't have a bachelor's degree in African studies. You could only get a minor at the University of Memphis. And so I wanted to learn and hear. And so that's why I can hear propaganda. I can hear real good because I was trained, right? And what do they use? They use the television. What do they use? In ads and advertising. Look at the ads when you see. What are we seeing now in the ads? A lot of white women, white couples, white people. If you don't see that, what else are you seeing? You're seeing mixed couples. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying pay attention to what you're seeing, right? Pay attention to what you're seeing. What did we used to see? We were seeing all of the, we were saying Coke is it. Well, Coke was it when they were putting cocaine in the Coke. Back in the day. Did y'all know that? And they were giving it to Sprite when they were giving it to babies. Did y'all know that? Y'all know the history of Coke? I'm just saying. But Coke is a global company. Coke is now in Burkina Faso. It's a global company. Coke is in Africa. Why aren't you? Why isn't your business in Africa? That's what I want to ask you. McDonald's is in Africa. Kentucky Fried Chicken is in Africa. They're in Kenya. I know they're in Kenya. I know for sure. In South Africa, I know for sure. Other countries, they're in other countries too. I don't know those, but I know those too. Why aren't you? Coke is all over Africa. Why aren't you? Why isn't your company? That's what you need to be asking, right? Woo! Come on, somebody. Y'all, I got my glasses on. I can see. Keep going. Miss P says, I appreciate everything you're doing. Don't apologize for your brilliance. What you are presenting is not for everyone, or they may not be ready to hear it. Thank you, Miss P. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I understand that. Thank you. Right. I feel like the ancestors have entered the room, y'all. Oh, there's peace in the room. Thank you so much. Milton says we do not. Milton says we do need to check ourselves first, the things we have and what the things that we are doing. Right? We need to check ourselves and first in the things that we're doing. Yes. Why aren't you investing in Africa? If Coke is there, why aren't you there? If McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken is there, I was hearing wings and things were there in Africa at one time, right? How many of you all? I don't know how far wings and things. We have wings and things here in Memphis, and we have it in Nashville. I don't know. I think they're also, and they're pretty much a national brand, but I didn't know they were in Kenya. at one time. I don't know if they're still there, but I was just listening to someone who does marketing in Kenya, and he was talking about that was one of the brands that he worked with years ago. So we got a lot to think about and a lot to think about and change for ourselves. Exactly. SA is a powerhouse. So I will get a residency. All right, come on, somebody. That's another thing we all need to do is collect residencies. Mauritius SA, which is South Africa's SA, TZ Tanzania, etc. This will be imports as this will be important, right? As our passport is losing power. Our passport is losing power. And they just laid off 1,400 people from the U.S. State Department. How about that? Get your passport. You don't know what you're going to have to do. So many people have had to leave their homeland, their country. And so you don't know what you may have to do, but you can be flexible. You can be movable. They want you to fight. This is why we are sitting out. This is why we relaxing and chilling, right? Go and get y'all glass, get y'all a sip. Yeah, let they fight. Mm-hmm. Right? Just stay fight. Let them fight. Go ahead. Yes, what you want to do? Go ahead. We here sipping tea, drinking water, ice water. Uh-huh. Yeah. Everyone doesn't want to sell oils or lotions. What about grants for infrastructure, contractors, and manufacturing? Yes, absolutely. Because one of the business I want to do, I want to do has to do with manufacturing. There's so many opportunities. Yes, yes, realist Renee, absolutely. There are so many opportunities. Right now, there are so many apartments that are coming up in Kenya. Oh my gosh, because the UN is moving there. The UN is leaving New York and Geneva, and they're headed to Africa. Yes. In fact, their office is already open. They're just now doing the finalization of their last few final, I think, employees, and they just announced it this week. And they're headed to Kenya. They're headed to Africa. They said the rent was too high. They named the rent was too high, and then travel because they were having to travel so much. So yes, there's so many opportunities for manufacturing, right? There's so many opportunities for manufacturing. Whether it's textiles, which I did mention Lesotho, and blue jeans. I mentioned Kenya in blue jeans, but also Rwanda has shoes and manufacturing shoes and manufacturing sunglasses. They're leather goods in Kenya. But I'm just tipping the iceberg, right? There are so many opportunities for manufacturing, for cereals, for Pampers, you name it. Find the most boring product. That's what I tell you. Something that people use all the time. And get into manufacturing and contracting, building. Yes, there's so much opportunity on the continent. You try to get into those, industries here in the West, and it's going to cost you an arm and two legs. Okay. But yes, on the continent, those opportunities absolutely exist. I love that question. Thank you. Very good. Appreciate that. Adida, I told you about Adida and the work that we're doing with BlackXodus, and so please be a part of that. I'd love for you to be a part of that opportunity. Here is the link, and then our website and trip to Kenya are also on the link. So go under Adida, and you will see that go under Adida. There's the link. Also, join my email list. Please join my email list so you can stay connected, right? Hit the bell. Go ahead and perform all the rituals that you must perform. Okay, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you stay connected. We stay connected. And join my email list because I'll send out emails about our upcoming projects, our opportunities for investment. I want to give you ideas. Work with us. Work with hubby and I. Let us be your investment consultants. Let us work with you, giving you ideas of so many opportunities that exist on the whole continent. Building partnerships, right? right? And opportunities together, because it's time for us to build. It's time. I know you got this. I know you can do this. So join the email list, all right? So we can stay connected. Yes. Let's see. Where I do my glasses, y'all? I lost my glasses. Here we go. It's the same in the Caribbean. We don't know our tribes either. Remember, we were on the same boat together, just on different ships, right? But the good thing about it is we can come together, right, as one, and we can own our own identity as well. So in the, Caribbean, you all have a beautiful culture and beautiful identity that we celebrate. I mean, it's not just a jerk. It's not just a jerk chicken and all the beautiful things, right? The Scotch bonnet peppers. It's so much about your music and your culture that we celebrate. And I think, for African Americans, it's the same thing. We just want to be able to have a culture, and it's that trauma, right? This that trauma story, that trauma that just keeps coming up, and it's reinfected trauma now, and it's stirring up again because of all the things that 47 is doing, all the things that the Project 2025 is doing, all the things that the Heritage Foundation, that they're doing, and so we are sisters and brothers. We definitely are. We get that, and having that cultural identity of being from the Caribbean, or having that cultural identity of being from Black America. When you hear them talking about it, when you hear me talking about it, you hear us talking about it, hear it, hear the trauma, hear the pain, and hear our need and our desire to have a tribe. Hear that, okay? And then allow it to be. Just allow people to work through their story as they work through. We're going to all get there, right? Maybe not at the same time. Somebody said that up in the video. We're going to all get there. Maybe not at the same time. And it's okay. But allow people to have their individuality. We have to allow that. See, in the previous editions of the civil rights movement, we didn't Black Americans didn't get to have their own cultural identity. We all felt like, we all had to stick together. So, and the way that they were thinking, they thought that if we had our own cultural identity, that somehow that weakened us. And so now we're hearing from ourselves and Gen X and other people, right? We have to listen to each other and hear that it's okay that we have a cultural identity. It's okay that we accept each other's culture and we love each other's culture, because that's how we come together. It's like a gumbo. You got some okra. It's like rice and peas, which we call rice and beans. We eat rice and beans here, right? But it's the same dish, just the same thing. It's the same concept, right? So we allow each other to have those differences, to have that, but it still tastes good. It's still good, all right, when we bond it all together. And there you go. That's it. I love that comment. Thank you. This is amazing, y'all. I love this conversation. I'm so excited. Thank y'all, because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know how they'll take it, but I need to just be myself. I just want to be myself. And I'm glad that y'all are here, right? I'm glad all of y'all are here. So thank you. It may have to be partnerships more so than grants given to startups. I think so. We've got to really, we've become accustomed to like grants and things like that in the West. And so we may have to figure out other ways, creative ways to fund our businesses, and creative ways to work up towards this foundation of funding. I love this story that I just learned about the Somalis. I think it's Somalis who are in Kenya. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but they have a pot basically. And what they do is every person puts money in the pot, like weekly or monthly. And then at the end of 365 days, they take that pot and they will give it to one investor, one business person to start a business. We got to start to think differently, right? We gotta start to think differently. I love this because the partnerships, we got to learn how to start thinking differently. We look at For example, the Jewish people, and I've been studying Jewish culture. And this is one way that we look, and when you look at old, the way that the older towns, black towns, were built. Right, when you study those, you study Tulsa, the Black Wall Street. You study how Seneca Village was built. Everybody has a part. So Jewish culture is very similar. That's why we from Africa. Okay, we wanted to try 12 tribes, but that's okay. All right. So what happened was you'd have someone who would lay the floors. You'd have someone. Oh, let's start with the foundation. You have someone who could pour the concrete. Right. You had somebody who could build the floors. You had somebody who could build the walls. But one person didn't have to do it all. You get a little bit. I get a little bit. I come in and do the paint. Right. I'm saying that because today we were supposed to go. We were supposed to go to paint our daughter's classroom. She teaches. And we ended up not having to go because someone got really excited and they ended up finishing it for her. Right. So we're always excited because as parents, we always want to go help. We always do a little part in helping. We're there, right? If she calls us, if our son calls us, like we right there. We're parents, right? That's what we do. But everybody has a part. It's like a potluck, okay? Somebody's gonna cook the chicken. Somebody gonna be fried chicken. Somebody gonna bring bake. Somebody gonna do the ribs. All right, the men complex are gonna be outside with the ribs, and the festivities. Okay, the happy drinks. Okay, they probably gonna be outside with the grill, and then you got somebody gonna bring the coleslaw. Somebody's gonna bring the beans and whatever else. Right. So we all have a part, and we gotta think about that. I love this as a strategy of partnerships. Instead of thinking about grants, we got to figure out ways to fund ourselves and to fund each other, right? So if someone is investing in a business in real estate or Airbnb, we'll hire somebody else to come in and decorate it. It circulates our dollar, right? It circulates our money, our black money, okay? Have somebody else come in and clean it. Have somebody else come in and greet and bring the baskets, right? For your Airbnb customers as they come in. They curate the baskets. I curate the basket for you. Okay, let me curate the basket. I can do that. Okay, that's that part I can do. Let me contact me when y'all have your Airbnbs. Let me curate the baskets. Okay, the welcome baskets that have the fruit, that have the the beautiful drinks from the from the country or the town, or something special, the chocolates from Ghana, or what I'm saying. Let me do that part. So we all work together, and if we fund that if we partner with each other, then we're working together, then we're actually funding our businesses. We're funding each other. That's how people work together. And we have to get back into that partnership mentality where we are funding each other, where we are helping each other survive and thrive. That's how the businesses work in America. Look, he comes in, Joe comes in, Joe comes in. He gonna hire his brother-in-law, his sister, his mama. He gonna hire his auntie, his uncle. They all gonna be part of the business. And we have to figure that out. Okay? We gotta hire Pookie, Lil Joe, Big Bruh, Junebug. Okay? We gotta we Aunt Sally. We gotta bring everybody in. And when we do that, we can thrive together. We can work together. All right. Y'all, go check me out. Join. I'm gonna end this because we are at 2 hours. Join my email list. Okay. Check out Adida. Check out our tour, right? There's so many amazing opportunities that we have here. You all have listed so many. I'm just looking at the comments. Thank you, each one of you all, for being here in the comments. I appreciate you so much. This was our article we talked about today. So if you want to check that out, I am going to put it in the link in the description, because I think I forgot to do that, but I will as soon as we get off and YouTube loads that so I can put it up. I will put it in there. Okay, so check back if it's not in there when you first go to it. This is Black Exodus. We are going on a trip and we are headed to Kenya. Please, please, please. I want you to be a part of it, right? I want you to be a part of it. If you have any questions, email me at theblackexodus@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you're doing on the continent. If you're already on the continent, I'd love to hear about it. If you want to go to the continent, I'd love to hear about it, right? We're starting with Kenya, but if there are other places you want to go and I can, if I can plan a trip for you, if I can plan a tour for you, please let me know. I would be happy to do that as part of Black Exodus, as your plan to wherever you want to go on the African continent or in the Caribbean or around the world. We can plan a trip for you and we can help you get there, right? Join us in Kenya in September because we cannot wait to see you there. All right, guys. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much to everybody who commented, everybody who's watching, everybody who's a part of this process. I love you guys so, so much. You can also become a channel member, join the channel. I would love for you guys to get all the behind scenes and exclusive content and information. Please support Black media. If you don't do nothing else, please support Black media. Support Black media today. And if you, I'm going to put up a donate button because the passport thing, we need to get passports. And a lot of people don't have passports and don't have money to get passports. So if we can start just a small fund, now I won't say small because I hate put limits on anything, but if we can start a fund for people to get out, plane tickets and passports and visas, that would be awesome. So I am going to try to put a donate button up on the website. I'm going to ask hubby to do it because he creates our website. Anyway, if you need any consulting, please reach out to us and let us know. We would be happy to help you create a business plan so you can live the life of your dream of investing and living on the continent. I love you guys so much. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you to hubby for being here. I appreciate you so much, babe, for helping me. I couldn't do this without you. Hubby cooked dinner today. Y'all, I'm so grateful. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. You are my heart. I want to see you thrive. I want to see the best for you because I know how brilliant, I know how amazing you are. All right, guys. Love you so much. This is Synolve signing off, and I'm going to see you in another video real soon. Bye-bye, guys. Big hugs. Bye, guys.